everybody. Hope you can hear me. It's windy and kind of cold today, which is kind of weird, being it's April in Central Florida. But we're out here in one of my favorite little places to look for carnivorous plants. Uh, about 20 minutes away from my home. I'm not going to tell you exactly where this is because there's a lot of plants out here that people like to poach for the carnivorous plant trade. So, yeah, this managed by fire, thankfully, because most of Florida's not, and all the good stuff gets grown over and choked out, and eventually will probably go extinct. But, yeah, so let's see what we can find. And, yeah, here's Ticket, the bog dog. Hey, what's up, man? Alright, we got something cool here. Got Sarracenia minor, the hooded pitcher plant, and his cute little flower. These are called swamp umbrellas colloquially because they just kind of, hang upside down, dangle like a little umbrella. And yeah, these guys got a really cool pollination thing going on. Up inside there, if you can see that little ball on the inside, if it'll ever focus. That's where the seeds develop. That's the ovary. And your little stigmas are a little horn that you see right on the other side of my thumb. So a little bumblebee climbs down in here, runs around, and then pops out where that horn is, and that's how the flowers pollinate. And it's pretty cute. And let's see, over here got all kinds of good sphagnum moss. Pretty early in the season, so pitchers haven't colored up yet. And they're just kind of hiding, tucked away in the brush here. That should be burned, but maybe a couple years they'll do another one. And here's a Ticket lying right on top of the other plants that I wanted to show you. Come on, move. This little guy here is that's the bloom of the blue butterwort, Pinguicula ceruleae. And down there is his little sticky leaf rosette that he catches his bugs on. And a broken flower lying right in the middle of it. And here we got some more Sarracenia minor starting to color up. Yeah, in these areas you always got to kind of watch out, or where you let your dog lie on top of, because there's little carnivorous plants all through this little area. Like down here, this is Drosera capillaris, probably the most common sundew you'll find here in Florida. And he's got a little tiny flower spike coming. These guys, the flowers only open for a couple hours in the morning, so you got to be out here at like just the right time to get a picture of that. All right, see what else we can find. Alright, down here in this stinky little pond, we got another carnivorous plant. These yellow flowers are of a Utricularia. Probably all washed out from the sun there. Let me get so you can actually see something. Alright, cool. That's better. Yes. Here you are. Looks like a little pea flower. I'm not quite sure exactly which Utricularia this is. I'm still trying to get professional in that. But yes, this is a carnivorous plant. Probably one of the more common ones you'll find in any stagnant pond area you'll see. And he's killing things in the water. Let's see if we can see his traps. Now all that slime, all this is the roots of the plant. And then attached to the roots are little tiny bladders. and he's eating like little microorganisms, water fleas, anything that'll fit in there. And these guys are pretty successful. You find Utricularia all over the world, basically all continents, everywhere except for like the frozen places, Antarctica, North Pole, stuff like that. Many species too. I think it's the most species rich genus for carnivorous plants. Alright, that's enough babbling about that. See what else we can find. Bye. Alright, got something else cool. I actually know what kind of Utricularia this is. This is Utricularia purpurea. Most Utricularia you'll find, at least within the United States anyways, they'll be yellow flowered, and there's a couple that do these beautiful, let's get up close, beautiful pinkish, purplish, violet, whatever color you want to call that. And same thing, he's eating all of his food on his roots down there. I like these guys because yellow flowers get a little bit boring after a while, so gotta mix it up. Good for him for mixing it up. Yep, Utricularia purpurea. Next. That's pretty cool. This is the dry season here in Florida, but I'd usually be standing in water right now, but it's nice to see a water lily this close. Nymphaea, I believe is the genus. Correct me if I'm wrong. And yeah, these guys have a really, really old lineage. The first flowering plants were supposed to be aquatic. So, yeah, cute. Alright, down here in a muddy little hole, look at that mound of Drosera capillaris. Isn't that cool? Now, where I'm standing, in a couple months' time, I'd be like knee deep in water. So, these guys definitely depend on the water cycles to spread their seeds around. Oh, look. There's a baby lubber locust. The bane of all gardeners. Ah, if you were at my house, I would kill you. But since you're out here in nature, where you belong, I'm not gonna. And you'll notice, I always see kind of like two different varieties of this plant. There's this normal short leaf variety that are nice and compact. And then every now and then you'll get a form that has a lot longer petioles. And it's just way bigger. And a lot of people mistake this for Drosera intermedia. But no, it's all capillaris, just two different forms. Ah, that's so nice. He's just growing on a little cypress knee. Yep. I'm a fan. Here's just some more hot sundew action. It's so sticky. Just, waiting for all those bugs to come along and die. Yep. Here's some more of those Utricularia subulata. They're just kind of blowing around in the wind. And it's hanging out doing their thing. Out here in the nice piney swamps of Volusia County. Where's my dog at? Oh, he's over there. Now here we got another really good looking flower on that Pinguicula ceruleae. And if the wind agrees, maybe we can get some good shots of it. There we go. Look at that design inside. And a little fake pollen brush thingy down at the bottom. That's pretty cool. And up here we got some seed pods ripening. These guys, they'll dry, they'll crack open, and look, actually look, you can see some seeds right there. All those little black peppery looking things are the seeds, and they spill out everywhere, and that's how it makes new little butterworts. I'm gonna help disperse. And down here, look at that. that. It's almost like the rosette kind of glows. Like a glowing yellow, green, aqua, whatever you call that. It's pretty cool. And yeah, just kind of like the Drosera. Only real good for catching gnats and stuff like that. Speaking of Drosera, this little tiny one's growing right next to it. Isn't that cute? Yep. Next spot we go to is going to have a lot more of these guys. I'll get to show you more of the flower diversity. Alright. And you know, here we have the ubiquitous bush light can that you find in most wild areas in Florida. You know, man, people around here really love their crap beer. Oh God. You know, more basic garbage. You know, your COVID mask. Newport pack. Yep. Florida stuff right there. Alright, here we got another species of Pinguicula. This guy's Pinguicula pumila. And they're pretty cool because their flowers range from like a pinkish, like this guy, or they go all the way down to dark purple. And you can get some that are completely white too. Pretty cool. You know, the same thing as the Pinguicula ceruleae we saw a little bit further down the road. But these guys are a lot smaller, and they seem to almost act annually. They kind of flower themselves to death every year. Like, look at how many flower spikes are coming from this guy. It's kind of crazy. So yeah, that's Pinguicula pumila. A little ant crawling around. Oh, there's a snapjaw ant. It's probably gonna sting the hell out of me. Uh-oh. So yeah, majority of Florida looks like this. It's this mesic pine habitat. You know, people, you know, when you think of Florida, they think of beaches and condos, and you know, we got a lot of that too, but most of it's this. Just endless pine and cute border collies. And this land gets managed. No one's gonna build here anytime soon. They do controlled burns here, which is really nice. So yeah, this one won't get flattened. It won't get turned into an apartment complex or something else really stupid and unnecessary. All right, cool. I was hoping to pull this off. We did the Pinguicula hat trick on this road. It's 3 different species, you know, all pretty close to each other. This one's a Pinguicula lutea, or lutea, or however you say it. I love the bright yellow flower on this guy. Kind of looks like a dandelion. A lot of people, when they see them, they think they're dandelions. But you come down here, and hiding in the leaves there is Carnivorous rosette. And they're kind of hard to tell apart from the blue butterwort unless they're flowering. I've kind of gotten an eye for it, but yeah, and they're kind of all through here. Here's a flower that got knocked over. Oh, look at that. That nice sticky leaf rosette. Beautiful stuff. And you know, here we have another crappy beer can that someone stuck onto this branch here to shoot at. Isn't that nice? Because, you know, the thing to do in nature is just to come and litter and drink and shoot things. It's disgusting. And so are people. So, yeah. Alright, we're at another location, probably about 10, 15 miles away from the last one. Basically kind of looks the same though. You know, piney swampland. And a dog. Another managed area. No one's going to be building here. But about 5 miles down the road from here, they're flattening just about everything in sight to build a bunch of houses that basically look exactly the same for people to retire from New England. So yeah, anybody that's out in those other states, Florida doesn't want you here. Resist the urge of your elders and retire somewhere else, please. And we got another little patch of these Pinguicula pumila that were at the last spot. You can kind of like see their little flowers coming up everywhere here. And now that we got a bunch of them, we can kind of show you the diversity in the flowers. Like here's a light pink one. One that's darker, a bit purplish. And got a white one. Oh, there was a lot more of these last year when I came, you know. Depending on how much it rains and stuff like that, it'll kind of play with their populations. And this is one of the smallest butterwort species. I actually think the smallest butterwort species we have here in Florida. Because sometimes these rosettes can be like barely a half an inch across, like no bigger than like pinky nail sometimes. But in full bloom. So, yeah, pretty cool. Alright, we're in location number 3. You got your basic piney Florida scrubland. There's Ticket again. Now, one really nice thing about these areas that have carnivorous plants is you find a lot of terrestrial orchids. Look at that cute little guy. This is a species in the genus Calopogon, or they call them grass pink orchids. I'm thinking maybe Calopogon barbatus, but I'm not really too good at telling these guys apart. Now, interestingly enough, this guy has a little bit of trickery to his pollination, like most orchids do. This little tuft up top that looks like pollen, little anthers, it's fake. It's just a dupe to get the little bee or whatever to visit that. And when he tries to get the pollen, he activates the little mechanism on this lip and it slams him down to this little spot down here. And that's actually where the pollinia is. So once the poor little bee hits that, kind of goes smack onto that and gets the little pollen pod on his back. And he doesn't know any better, so he just goes to the next flower and does the same thing. Tries to get the pollen, smack, back down, and then pollination is complete. I'll try to find one that's already pollinated so you guys can see what I'm talking about. Alright, yeah, that's it. Calopogon, maybe barbatus. Correct me if I'm wrong. Bye. Alright, here's one of my favorite areas in this location, because all the grass just kind of disappears. It's just a floor of pine needles, really nutrient poor soil, and they're looking terrible right now. But there's your Sarracenia minor, last year's pictures, all burnt to a crisp. See if we can find, here's a little bit of a better looking one hanging out over by the dog. That's still last year's growth though. This year they're gonna come in a lot better. Little tiny flower bud coming down there. But yeah, it's pretty cool because you usually never see Sarracenia minor this concentrated. You just see like a little patch here and there usually, but they're all kind of usually more spread out than this. And you never see them like the bigger, more showy species that are up in the panhandle that, I'll show you in due time. Because they're not very good at self-seeding. So they don't spread their seeds around as efficiently as some of the other species. Alright, down here we got one of the better looking pictures that I found today. Look at that. That's pretty nice. Now, they got a pretty interesting method of getting their food, which is mostly ants. A lot of Sarracenia aren't, prey specific, but this one mostly eats ants. And you can kind of see when you look up like that, that colorful inner lid will attract any bugs that are walking around the ground. They look up, they see that. They think it's some kind of flower with some kind of good nectar to get in there. And then they crawl up this little wing coming up here. And then right into the pitcher mouth. Now, bugs usually associate light with the way to escape. So once that bug gets into that lip, he thinks that this is the escape. Because these are little transparent cells that make the light shine through. Kind of like Darlingtonia out west, which is a cousin of this. Closely related, but different genus. So the bug comes up into here, tries to escape back here, and then just hits the back of that lid and falls down and becomes a plant lunch. Now, since it has the same kind of trapping mechanism as Darlingtonia, I and a lot of other botanists theorize that this is a very, very ancient form of Sarracenia. Like one of the older ancestral, prehistoric forms. But yeah, that's pretty cool. I'll take another video of these in a couple weeks or so when they're looking better. Alright. Oh, isn't that cool? Don't you love it when people just leave their dog shit in a bag just on the trail? That's how they do. I personally would rather than just have the dog shit on the ground and have it decompose. But no, let's add to the plastic because stupidity. That's it. Yeah. Alright, last spot I wanted to show you guys today, Volusia County again. I don't think this is in a managed area, so I really wouldn't be surprised if I come back in a couple years and this is all apartment complexes and stupid houses that all look the same. But right now, and we're right off the side of the road. There's my car, there's some tires that somebody dumped. Seems to be like a place where people just dump tires and old construction material that's not used. But I found this a couple of weeks ago. Just looking for new spots. And this place, there's a ticket again, by the way. This place is loaded with carnivorous plants. Like, there's no Sarracenia here, which is kind of a shame. But what we do got is hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of those Pinguicula ceruleae. That blue butterwort I showed you earlier. Now here I can kind of show you, if we can focus, the difference in some of these flowers. Of course it's windy too. But yeah, here's kind of like your basic, lavenderish. Some have the stripes in the middle. Some don't. Here's one that's completely white. There we go. Almost white. There's a little bit of purple in there. And you got really dark ones. I like the dark ones personally. Look at that dark purple. Isn't that pretty? Let me get you up in there. Yeah. Uh-huh. That's the good stuff. And usually, you don't find them in this thick of populations. But you can see their little carnivorous rosettes all over the ground. Kind of like they're a bright yellow now because these guys they get a lot of sun. There we go. Yeah. With a little Drosera capillaris in there too. Cute. And just all kinds of little carnivores. You got the butterworts all over, Drosera all over. And behind me, growing out of the old nasty mud here, is Utricularia cornuta, horned bladderwort. Now, this is a very big Utricularia species. You know, usually they're little tiny little things, but these guys, you know, they got some size to them. They're pretty tall too. Looks like some kind of weird pea. And down at the lower level, we have another Utricularia species. Another pink variety. Now, this is a Utricularia respinuta or respinuta. Probably pronouncing that wrong. But yeah, there we go. Isn't that cute? Little tiny little pink flower. And same thing, you know, they're all having a little microbiological lunch in this mud here. All, you know, right next to the road. And, you know, good old Volusia County. So that's it for today. You know, it's gonna be the first one of these, but hopefully if I don't get tired of doing it and I have enough cool stuff to show you, there'll be more. Thank you and goodbye. See, I lied now. That wasn't the end. Oh man, that's just good stuff. Beautiful, beautiful little pink flowers. All right, yeah, that's enough. All right, bye.